go somewhere else, they're always coming back because they said, that's what you miss.
That's what you miss. Right? That's right.
And you get a little bit of everything. I always said to my friends and family, you can literally travel around Toronto and feel like you're in a different part of the world because of the cultures that we make.
It's true. Up. It is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. So then you came back and then you jumped into this organization. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is so big and great about this organization?
So the organization, I see, we're an collective group of business people and professionals, and we sort of came together. We all share our commonalities. Either we are from the Netherlands, we're Dutch, or we've got Dutch interests.
Okay.
So it's a cultural organization. But we have a lot of people who are business owners, operators, executives, professionals that have those interests.
Right.
And we sort of come to Canada and we said, like most cultural people that come to Canada, we said we want to still be a part of our homeland, really.
Okay.
And celebrate that, but we want to do it under a business context. And so we created this association over 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where it started. And it was just a couple lawyers that said, hey, we want to sort of hang out with people that share the same interests and celebrate our background and our heritage.
Right.
And it sort of has grown from that. And now today we host events that we're doing professional development events.
Okay.
So we'll get keynote speakers to come in and we get people to talk about the economics of what's happening, fireside chats.
Yeah.
We'll get speakers that will come in, we'll talk about what they're doing, whether, to educate people about law or legal issues, immigration issues.
Okay.
Recruitment issues, business issues. So we got a lot of business owners that are a part of it that sort of want to better their business and relationships and connections.
Okay.
And that's really where it started.
Now, you said 40 years.
Yes.
This is a long-standing...
I age well, if you can't tell.
I was about to say, you look good. You look good.
It's the Dutch genes.
Yeah. So when you jumped in, did you jump in right away as the big boss, or did you work your way up, or how was it? How did they pull you in?
I got recruited in, actually. Believe it or not, so when I came to Toronto about 14 years ago,
right,
I really sort of wanted to have that connection back to my Dutch heritage.
Okay.
Right, because when you're here, you kind of lose it, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of pinpoint people who are Dutch. It's actually easier than you think. You just look for anybody who's over 6'2", and you go, you must be Dutch if you're blue eyes, blonde hair, over 6'2",
right?
And the ongoing joke about that is Dutch people are probably the tallest people.
Okay.
By demographics.
Okay.
And it's because if we weren't, when the dikes break, we'd all drown.
Okay.
So we had to be above 6 feet
tall.
Level.
So
when, entire Holland is underwater. And so we started to... I got involved in this because I saw this association. I basically Googled, where do all the Dutch people hang out? And they showed me this professional association.
Okay.
And I said, let's get involved in it. And I started off just volunteering.
Yeah.
At some of the events. And going to some of their networking events and wine and cheese events and different things that they're doing. And eventually I got involved in the process.
Right.
And one day they just said, hey, you know what? You know a lot of people in the city and you're very well connected. Do you want to be a part of the board and actually contribute to this?
Right. So, not knowing they were actually just reeling you in, right?
Yeah. So I got onto the board and started there, and then as a board member, it's completely volunteer.
Yeah.
So you volunteer your time away from your friends and family and your business,
right?
And you help build the association up
through
its membership. And really, we serve the members that are there. So anybody who's a member, it's what they want.
Yeah.
And we create events, and we pool the resources together to create those events.
Perfect. And then I like what the keywords you keep using is that it's a community and you pool things together. Because what people don't understand is if tragedy happens, if certain aspect happens, more people that pool in together, it can happen. Not one person can do it by themselves.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers. Yes. I love that. So speaking of numbers, how many members is there?
It's a few hundred members, part of it. So it's not thousands. Right. I mean, there's not many Dutch people that come here. It's hard to find. And they're not all in the Toronto area.
Oh, okay.
So, we're nimble. We're small and nimble.
Yes.
But powerful in the same sense, right?
Exactly.
Because it's the business community that we're pulling together.
So, you guys are networking all the time, sharing ideas, sharing concepts, and moving all together.
Yeah, and we're leveraging our connections in the communities.
Okay. So, let me just go into a perfect example so people can understand how it works. Because last night, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had an event last night.
We did.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about that event, and I think that will show people how you guys pull together and how things work.
So we had this event last night, very intimate event that we held downtown Toronto at the Marché.
Okay.
Right on Bay Street. And what we did is we partnered with Global Medic. which is a charitable organization that does relief efforts and rebuilding in devastated territories and areas. And there's a whole rationale why we partnered with Global Medic. But what we did is we said to Global Medic, we like the cause that you're involved. We like what you're doing down on the islands in the Caribbean, especially after Hurricane Irma hit.
Right.
And we feel powerful about it. How can we help?
Okay.
And that's where it really started. And the interest was for us is that because St. Maarten is a Dutch island, our members were speaking to us. And they said, hey, one of our own just got blown out of the water.
What can we do?
It's devastated.
Right.
And a lot of members saying, hey, we have family there.
Okay.
We go there for vacations. We have timeshares there.
Right.
We've got to do something. And how can we mass a response here from Canada to help them out? And that's where we partnered with Global Medic. We had a very intimate event where we raised funds. And that sort of kicked off our fundraising campaign to say, how do we pool our funds and connections to get the right people on board to do that? And so we brought in sponsors like KLM Airlines, Dutch Airlines. We brought them in. We brought Franklin Templeton Investments in. We brought Duca, which is a Dutch credit union that's been here since 1955. We brought them in to do this, right?
And it's sorry to cut you, but as you're mentioning these people out there were like, whoa, didn't know. You know what I mean? Like you said, if you don't know, because like you said, if you're in the Toronto pocket, this is your pocket. And if you go to this side, this is your pocket. But you're telling me that there's a lot of influence and good, strong community base here in Toronto.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you had all those partners, and what else did you guys do?
So we had a sort of an educational session. So we brought in the Weather Network. We brought in Global Medics in. We brought in the Consulate General from the Kingdom of the Netherlands. We brought her in. So she talked about the relief efforts that the Kingdom was doing down there and where they needed help and what they were doing to support. We brought in the Weather Network to actually, I don't know if you've ever seen the show The Storm Chasers.
Yeah.
So those guys that go around and chase these storms, he was actually there to describe what it feels like to be in a devastated territory in a hurricane.
Did he look normal?
Absolutely, well, yeah.
Okay, because I always want to know if these guys are really normal to be chasing a storm. Like they're in their truck and they're filming it, and it's like hundreds and thousands of feet just away, and you're watching like cars getting thrown up in the air, and they're just nice and calm and going, hey, that's a big one over there.
Well, he was showing us some footage of the winds and the category. So he was educating the group, saying this is what a Category 1 looks like. Here's what a Category 5 looks like. And when you think of a Category 4 or 5 hit, and he was giving us the science behind. He's a meteorologist by background. With a few screws loose that makes him go into these storms. So he's Bill Nye with Indiana Jones combined in. And give him a Jeep Grand Cherokee and a license just to drive around, and there you have the storm chaser. But he's educating us, and things that I didn't know, right? We always talked about the eye of the storm and the wall of the storm. And so when he put the Hurricane Irma on a map, and he showed where the islands were in the Caribbean, you can see where the most intensity of the storm and what islands they passed over. And the complete devastation that would have. And he said, the islands are so small, so when a hurricane hits mainland like United States, it starts to dissipate as it hits the mainland because the storm actually brings its energy up from the ocean. And when it goes over a mass line, the heat and everything. You used a lot of scientific terms, and I'm not going to try to paraphrase it. But it loses its impact, and then it dissipates over land. When you have a small island and a big storm,
there's nothing.
It just passes right over and doesn't even slow down. So Hurricane Irma literally hit the islands with such force that a number of islands, and St. Maarten was one of the many that were hit. And so Global Medic being down there with not just with St. Maarten, but a lot of the other Caribbean islands helping them out, we said, here's a good cause to back it up, bring our resources, pool it together, our connections, pool it together. Let's raise some funds for this. And we select Global Medic because every dollar that they're raising goes to the actual operations.
It just goes directly to.
It doesn't go to overhead, right? It doesn't go to sticky notes and office expenses. It goes right there. So he's talking about, it's pennies on the dollar to water.
And that's the main thing. We're gonna take a quick break, but as we go to break though, Jordan, you got that photo? Let's show them. I guess this is the best time to show that photo of the car, and I guess that's telling you right there, ladies and gentlemen, of the eye of the storm. That must have been like. That car is in the tree, turned sideways, And that just shows you the devastation.
Yeah, it gives you a new perspective that when you think how soul-destroying Toronto traffic is.
Yeah, this is...
In our rush hour, it could be worse.
You could be a lot worse. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back to CMJ Live. Please reintroduce yourself.
It's Jason Pietzma, chairman of the CMVPA.
All right. Now, you had in the last break before we came back, you had a great event. And we showed up a picture of a car, like, turned sideways in the tree. We were talking about the eye of the storm.
That wasn't the event.
No.
The event was not driving a car into a tree.
It was a bitter event, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about giving. And this is why you guys are doing it. You know Absolutely. What I mean? Like you said, you joked around during commercial break that you don't really realize how bad it is until you see the pictures. Until you see that a house is completely exploding, flattened. There's nothing left. It's just rubble. And to see why everybody puts in, right? And in the company you're doing it is Global Medic. Can you tell us a little bit more about what they do, how they're so good? And I like the part that you said before we went to break that when you give them the money, it's going straight through. I like the little thing you said, no sticky notes.
Yes.
They don't need it.
They don't. They're an extremely efficient organization. So this is an organization that had started about a decade ago from an actual medic that he felt that
needed to be done.
He needed to do something on a global basis. Now, when you think global medic, you think of medical supplies.
Yeah.
Right? You think of paramedic. You think of a first responder.
Right.
So he takes that mentality and says, how do we become the first responder in a territory that's been devastated? Because time is of the essence.
Okay.
You don't have 7 days to whiteboard your strategic response.
Right.
Because as soon as something hits like a devastation,
gotta go.
You've got minutes and seconds literally to start saving lives.
Right.
And you know there's going to be fundamental areas. No one's going to sit down and go, well, do you think they need clean water? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's whiteboard it, figure this out. No, they need clean drinking water.
Get it
right?
going.
When the infrastructure's taken down. So they developed this organization. It's grown up over the years.
Okay.
It's gotten charitable status. And they've said, let's respond in different ways. And we can respond in, the water treatment is one area. So when you think of global medics, you think, well, that's not medical anymore.
Right.
So they have different modules that they implement.
Okay.
And one's about how do we get into a territory that's been devastated and start clean drinking water. Right?
Because everybody else is thinking of bottled water, here's some supplies, leave. But nobody's thinking, well, after you get them to a certain level, how can we sustain them back to start all over again?
It's all about sustainability, right?
Okay.
So that is a module that they can come in. And they create clean drinking water. It literally costs them pennies. Right?
Okay.
I think one of the facts that came out was $7 can actually give a family the ability to create clean drinking water for an entire year in their own house.
Okay.
So when you think about that, for everybody who's listening, who's drinking their Starbucks coffees,
I knew you're gonna go
right?
there.
You can either have one coffee.
Yeah, I knew you're gonna go
right?
there. Yeah.
And if anybody feels guilty, pack your bags. You're about to go on a guilt trip.
Right.
You can get an entire drinking water for a family.
Okay.
Down there for the same price.
One when you're
So no excuses. Anybody who bought a coffee this morning,
Yeah.
of why you can't donate to the cause. So that's one module they can do.
Everybody has a Starbucks coffee
Yeah.
right now. Listening.
Everybody's just putting it down.
Is just
They're
looking at it, going, "I got an extra shot of vanilla. I added whipped cream to it. That's 2 families right
Yeah,
there."
I know for all those Dutch people who are
Yeah.
too frugal and went and bought Tim Hortons because they didn't want to spend the $7, spent the $4, I'm still getting you.
Okay.
That's 6 months of water.
Okay.
So,
You know what it is? Really think about it. Let's all jokes aside.
yep.
All you have to do is for one day, like you said, you know what I mean? How many Tim Hortons coffees do you drink? How many Starbucks coffees do you go? To do it for one day, or even go for the gusto for 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard for some. They gotta have their fix.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go cold turkey. If you have one in the morning and one afternoon, skip one
Yeah,
and just donate that money.
absolutely.
Because you're telling me 7 can help a whole family
Yeah.
just have some clean water.
And you can be a big player and buy water for an entire street.
Man, that's when you really think about it.
Yeah.
How bad is that you can't just give that money?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one function that they do, right?
Right.
They do medical supplies.
Okay.
They help in the medical area still.
Right.
Right. But they're not. Global Medic's smart enough that they realize where can we make the most amount of impact in the organization. And while we can enact one module, and that's clean drinking water,
Right.
we can also do the medical side of it. But they also have another one where they can do search and rescue. And it was really interesting. There's some drone shots that I'm sure you'll be showing
Okay.
where they actually put drones up in the air and
Yeah.
they can actually start to map out the devastation. And it's
Okay.
not for journalists to kind of go, ooh, look how
Well,
bad
look
it
at it,
is,
yeah.
and send some cool things on your Instagram account. It's
Right.
actually to help the first responders figure out where they need to send resources and supplies.
Okay, so they came up with the technologies out there. Let's use what we have to help out to gain more awareness.
Right, and those machines themselves are very expensive. They're about 6 figures.
Yeah.
But guess what? The money you donate doesn't go to buy those machines.
Right.
We actually partner with other technology companies to donate the machines and the pilots to fly the drones.
Right.
Right, to use them.
Okay. So again,
But that's where the community comes in.
that's where the
right?
community
We're
comes
all
in,
coming together.
and the money's not wasted to buy the drones. They're getting donated to share, and for that money is going directly to the families again.
We got it. So we come together as a community.
Okay.
Right, the funds that are donated are used specifically for things that can't be donated.
Okay.
Right? That's the water. That's the treatment. Right? That's getting the people down there.
Okay, so Jordan, if you can throw up that picture for us, just to give us a quick idea. There's what you're talking about right there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the drone is flying over and pinpointing certain areas faster than people walking on the ground trying to find out where they should go next. What's the whole idea? And these are professional flyers going over it saying, here's some pictures so you can look at of where the devastation hit and how we can get in there.
Yeah, you got to think about it. When you're in a disaster zone, you don't have streets you can drive down or sidewalks you can go through.
Right.
Right. All operations are down. Telecommunications down. So how do you assess out the area? And so when you put a drone up in the air and you can say those roads are blocked, that community over there can't get access to hydro. Right. There is a flooding situation. There's a fire over here. That way you can better respond, send the responders out there. And so it's a global coordination. So Global Medic is one of many that's down in the area.
Yeah.
And because we collaborate up here to allow them, enable them to do their job, they're down in the area collaborating with local authorities to do it.
Okay.
So it's a global effort.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about the community we have here, but we're talking about the greater global community coming together, right?
And I guess the influence that some of your partners, the people that are involved in the business and involved into the foundation, really have great connections to make all this happen.
You got it.
Right? And then they're using those connections. It's not like, I'm calling you up and say, hey, do you have a mechanic I can borrow? You have a hookup on a mechanic. It's more of going in deeper and grabbing the real people and say, listen, this is what we need from you. Let's make it happen.
Absolutely.
Okay. So at the end of the day, what do you still need? How can me and my viewers that are watching say, I love what he's talking about. How can we get involved? Is there a website we can go to, a phone number? Where can we go?
Absolutely. So we've got a website, and there's a donate now, which
Okay.
is on the www.cnbpa.ca. There's a link there to Global Medic. You can also go to Global Medic and donate there directly as well.
Okay.
Remember, it only takes $7.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And they do issue tax receipts.
Okay.
So you do get it for that reason as well.
Yeah.
But they do need the funds in order to affect the change in there.
Okay, give them the website one more time.
www.CNBPA, Canadian Netherlands Business Professional Association.
.com?
.ca.
.ca. I love that even better.
Yeah.
Keep it Canada. There you go. All right, so make sure we get there. Is there a phone number if they want to call in and donate as well? Or everything's on the website?
Everything's on the website for them. We make it very simple.
Okay.
Not complicated for you. There's also links to some of the pictures that they're doing, where the funds are going to. They can educate themselves on it.
Right. And I think that's the main focus. A lot of people donate, but at the end of the day, they don't get to see these pictures and say, yes, my efforts are really working. They don't get to see the helpers. And we have some pictures coming up, too, that there's some efforts of people that are donating their time while they're down there. Jordan, if you can throw those ones up for us. So there, we were talking about it earlier, sitting here, getting stuff ready to go out and help out, right?
Yeah, you got a lot of people who volunteer. So these are people that are going down, they're unpaid, they're taking their vacation time. So when you think you've got 3 weeks of vacation,
yeah,
and you want to go to St. Martin at
yeah,
an all-inclusive, well, the all-inclusive probably doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Well, they're going down in a different all-inclusive,
right,
and they're donating their time. And these people are working 17, 18-hour days. We've had some pictures, and there's some on our website where you see some of the volunteers actually falling asleep on transportation on ferries and on planes, because they're just working exhausted while they're down there.
And trying to get it back up to standard.
And they're working as maximum amount of times to get things up and running as efficiently as possible.
Right.
To rebuild it, right? To stabilize it.
And I'm telling you, if you don't go online and take a look, and then what's the harm? Here's the thing I always say when I have guests like yourself coming in for charities. What's the harm for taking 10 minutes to look at this site? Just take 10 minutes. Go online, take a look. I guarantee something will grab you. You know what I mean? And like you said, it takes 10 minutes to go in, donate $7 to help a family. All right? We'll be right back. We got a lot more pictures and more information with my special guest. If you're watching CMJ Live, we'll be right back. We got to pay some bills.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hey guys, and welcome back to CMJ Live. And I was just talking behind the scenes on the Instagram post. We're behind the scenes, and I was just telling them straight, listen, for $7, be a hero today. All right, and you're thinking about it. Yeah, seriously, be a hero. Because for $7, you're actually helping a family get clean water. All right, now think about it. $7. Tea in the morning, fresh drinking water to do things, bathing water, washing whatever they need. They need clean water. We don't know what the water looks like right now. So for $7, you could be a superhero. Go to cnbpa.ca, and I'll say it again. C as in Charlie, N as in Nancy, B as in Bob, P as in Peter, A as in animal.ca. Go on there for 5 minutes. Just go up there, $7. Do it now. Don't waste time. And then as we speak, Jordan's going to throw up some pictures, and we're just going to talk about some of the pictures and how you can get involved, and we'll see what we're seeing. All right? So this is the one that we were joking around earlier about, and even though we're joking about it, it's simple stuff like that. This is the one with the toothpaste.
Yep.
Right? Like simple toothpaste to give out to somebody. We think it's like a big deal, whatever, but it's all the little things that we are donating that can have somebody so they can get up every day and just be healthy with.
Well, this is about personal hygiene, right?
Right.
When you talk about what happens in a devastation zone, clean drinking water to bathe, to personal hygiene, and that's important, right? Not just drinking. People think, well, I'm thirsty, I want to drink the water.
Right.
But a lot of what happens in the aftermath, I mean, once the devastation's done, you got to think when you're in a hurricane or in a natural disaster zone, everything that you are so used to no longer exists.
Right. Exactly.
Because everything's blown away.
Right.
Literally blown out of the,
yeah.
out of the way. So, these are simple things that we try to make sure that the personal hygiene. Now, most people go, well, what's a priority?
Right.
Food or toothpaste?
and the thing is, there's no, to me, there's no one over the other.
No, and it's about making sure that we keep the personal hygiene up. The people that are down there. And it's also about the psychological impact.
Right.
When you've lost everything, something as simple as this makes you think things are relatively returning back to normal.
Right.
Right. And that's the motivation people feel that they need back.
If you feel good and you think things are great or things are changing, you see the uplight of things, you don't see the devastation, your spirits are more lifted seeing people come in and do things better for you.
Yeah, and that's just one picture, but I mean, it's not that's all they do is distribute toothpaste down there because they're worried about people smiling nicely for the cameras, and we're joking about that.
Yeah.
But that's just one shot of the many different items that are going there from other personal hygiene products. If you think about yourself, I mean, Irma hit the islands.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Right.
And they're still rebuilding. When you have 91% of the buildings devastated.
91
of them have been affected. 40% of that island has to be completely rebuilt. I mean, Air Canada and WestJet just announced last week that they're not flying to St. Martin Islands and other islands for Christmas.
Wow.
And so you got to think, can you imagine if you did not have Shoppers Drug Mart?
Yeah.
Right? Or your Starbucks, or any amenities that you're so used to that are just common there every day,
right?
To go through. I mean, this is what you're looking at.
Those are boats.
I think so.
That's actually one. I could see it. That's one boat trip sideways, and if you look in the top left of that picture, ladies and gentlemen, that's another boat sitting on another boat.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in the boat right in front of you, that is a boat turned inwards into the water. And then a whole bunch of other ones like just smashed back and forth.
What you can't see is all the houses underneath that.
Yeah. Oh.
Right? Because you gotta think there were structures there.
Right.
Right? This probably was a very nice harbor with great buildings there, and there's nothing left.
Well,
so you have to go get clothing, you have to go get food.
And to be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about that. From the islands myself, I just thought of, okay, they have no boats. And knowing the islands, fishing.
Yep.
Going out, getting fresh fish, casting their lines, bringing in fresh fish and food and all that stuff, lobster, crab, and everything. That's gone now.
The infrastructure's not there.
It's not there.
Even if you can get a fishing rod.
Yeah.
Right, and get out to the end of the pier and fish.
Right.
Right. What about think of everything you do.
Yeah.
Right. How do you clean it?
Right.
You don't have fresh water to do it with.
No, simple stuff.
Store it. How do you freeze it? How do you prepare it? How do you cook it?
Okay. There's the other thing. So like even now you're bringing up the whole roller thing, the generators, the power to freeze it, the other infrastructure, ice, simple stuff like that is what we're trying to get.
And a lot of the islands down in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, still without power.
Wow.
Still without power.
Right.
And so, I mean, we talked about the ice storm that hit Toronto a couple years ago, and people were like, what do we do? We're out of power for 2 days. I can't watch my Netflix.
Exactly.
Right? You got to think about your day-to-day. People aren't going to work anymore.
Let's think of the real deal. Like you said, it's power because we can't use our tablets, can't get on the computer, can't do whatever. But they're out of power for like weeks, months, like generators, power for everything.
What would you do if your day tomorrow was completely disrupted and your normal course of everything that you had access to was eliminated? So you don't get in your car anymore. You don't drive to work, right? So these people have no jobs to go to. There are no office buildings. There is no, you are a receptionist at this building anymore. It's,
right.
Your entire time is cleaning your front yard or searching for your daughter's teddy bear. Right. Or trying to scavenge enough food to get things by. Right. Putting the pieces, trying to find family photos, heirlooms.
Yeah,
You're not thinking about going to the local store to
pick something
check
up.
in as a worker. So
And
your income is also reboosted.
And then I love that Jordan put that picture up. As you mentioned, you have to think about the young people as well. In this photo you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, there's some young teens right there. So you have to think about, what are they thinking? I mean, their livelihood as a young teen. I think that kid looks about 12, 13.
Yeah.
Where are they going to play? Going to school, seeing their friends, basic things that children shouldn't even have to think about. They're thinking about it at this age.
Well, anybody who has small children, if you're a single parent,
Yeah.
right, think of the network and the support network you have around you.
Right.
If tomorrow that was eliminated, you couldn't drop off at daycare.
Yes.
You have a small 7-month-old that's crying, that wants formula, that needs to be fed, bathed, right, housed, clothed.
Right.
And you've got to deal with that. Simultaneously, you got so many other things that are going on.
So let me ask you this question, since we're on this subject. Is it just money you guys are looking for, or is there a place where you can drop off donations of clothing and all that stuff? Is it just more money? We should push to donate the money.
It's more for the money because the money is liquid.
Okay.
Right? And it can go to purchase these things.
Right.
There are other agencies that are working down there, like Red Cross, where you can donate the clothing.
Okay.
Right, to do that. So if you have clothing, you say, well, I don't have the money.
Right.
But I've got my kids that outgrown this.
Right.
Can I go? And there will be websites that we're able to do that for you as well.
Okay.
Right. But what we're trying to do is we're really about restabilizing the business and making sure that they have an area that they can rebuild from.
Okay, so here's a question, and I have to ask it, but sometimes people are thinking that it's an ongoing thing forever. How long is this structure going to be there? You know what I mean? Like some charities go in for they have a plan for like a 2-month build and they get out. Yeah. How long are you guys in there for?
Global Medic will be in there for a few more months.
Okay.
Right? Because they're the first responder teams that are getting in there.
Right.
Right. They're to establish a groundwork where people they can rebuild from. Right?
Okay.
They partner with other charitable organizations that are really good. If you think of a sport analogy, if you're really good at catching the ball,
right,
all I want you to do is catch that ball.
That's all you do.
I don't want you to throw it.
Yes.
So these charities actually come together and collaborate as a community.
Okay.
And so Global Medics, their expertise is right at the forefront of getting everything established, so the other charities can do what they do best.
Okay.
Without Global Medic in there doing what they're doing today, other charities couldn't do what they do for longevity of the organization.
They have the structure, they have the implement, and
that's
where it has
got.
that's what they're good at.
You
right.
toss the ball, you catch it together. We have a team atmosphere, and that's where the community comes together to rebuild
right.
it. Now, the islands there, and St. Martin's is one of many that got devastated during the thing. The islands that are there, I mean, they'll take years to rebuild.
Yeah, I know.
This isn't.
This is not the next day.
I have my leaf pile blown in my front yard. I could go back out and rake it.
Right.
I mean, it's complete devastation.
Right.
And this is something that most people can't comprehend.
They see it on the news, but I think the bad thing about it is the news is only good for the next 4 weeks, and then they've moved on to something else.
Exactly.
So that's why I was more than welcome to have you on the show, because people need to understand the key word you said is it's still happening.
Yep.
It's still going on. Just because CNN went to Trump talking about something else doesn't mean that the devastation is not going on, the charities are not going on, and people right now as we speak is on the ground running, doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
So don't think just because it's not on the news that they don't need help still. Help is needed, so make sure that you understand that there is still help needed.
Yeah, I think if for anybody that's watching this today or viewing this today, I mean, we really have to put ourselves in that mindset of someone who's down there.
Right.
If this were me, right, how would I feel if I was in that area? What am I going through?
Right.
And take your life today of what it is, and think of how you would operate under the infrastructure that these people in the islands have today.
All right.
And then that's when you look at it and go, really, how hard is $7?
How hard is it? Listen, we'll be right back. You're watching CMJ Live, and we're talking about the relief fund, how you can help out, and it's a great cause, and I'm loving what you guys are doing. I'm loving that it's full 100. And when I mean full 100, it's all going in. Like you said, there's no money donated. It's all going in. All right? We'll be right back. You're watching CMJ Live. welcome back. And before we say bye to our special guest today, we're gonna throw up some more pictures real quick, just so we can drill it in your heads. And like you said, no guilt trip. But I figured if we throw you a couple more pictures. All right, so look, here it is, real deal. Like, look at these people right here, and you have to look at it.
Yeah, this is, you can see a lot of the, you can see the people that we're affecting down there. You can see one of the volunteers. I mean, these are volunteer firefighters, they're nurses, they're individuals like you or I,
right,
that donate our vacation time
to go out down there and do
work
something.
18-hour days to help these people out, and they come back home and they're down there for at least a week, if not more, doing this. These are some great pictures of this. This used to be a house.
Yeah, I know.
So you want to think of what your home looks like and how easy it is. There's no shelter anymore. So if it rains tomorrow,
where are they going?
Or they get a snowstorm, not that's going to happen there, but they have nowhere to go. So you have families now that have to dig through that debris to find everyday necessities.
And looking at it, it just brings me back to all the islands that I visited, and my roots are from Jamaica, and I'm looking at that house, and the houses and the cars, they're exactly the same, the way they built them and everything. But then just think about it. That was, like you said, someone's transportation to get from work to home, to groceries to home. That's what it looks like. That's what's left.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the person probably worked hard to get that vehicle. You know what I mean? And then we saw this one earlier about the ships, and then you mentioned it too. Where are they going to go to do everything, to clean it, the food, the environment, everything in there. So it is a great cause, and we hope that when you're watching, we want you to go to cnbpa.ca, and we're going to do a challenge. I'm challenging you right now. Right after the show, I'm putting it out there. I'm going online. It's $7. I'm going to be the first one. I want everybody that's watching this show, everybody that's watching on Instagram, to please go there. I'm going to put the link. We're going to put the link on the show, and we want to see, once you donate, all right, it's social media. I want you to respond saying, CMJ Live, I donated. That's what we're going to do right now, okay? For 24 hours, we're going to just put it out there. Once you donate to cnbpa.ca, donate your $7, put it on social media, put it on our links, and then next show I do, I'm going to read off all the names and everybody that donated on my next show, all right? It's real simple. And that's what they're getting. I see the supplies there, helping people out. That's what it's all about right there. Giving back, helping people, supplies.
It's about realizing you're a part of a bigger community.
Yes. And then I could tell that's school kids.
Yeah.
They got the uniform on. You know what I mean? So you have to think about it. Where are they going to school right now?
Well, we have to bring everything back to normalcy.
Yeah.
Because your entire world is disrupted, and you got to think of not only the structural impact it makes, but the psychological impact these storms have.
Right.
And the quicker you can get back to normal life,
yeah,
the quicker back you can get back to recovering. And part of that, some things might seem so trivial of what organizations do down there, but it's returning things back to normal the way you're used to. I mean, there were still volunteers that were walking around these shell shocked, because they literally walk around the island and they go, where do you start? Like, if it's their first time going to help, it's not what they pictured. Like, they're on the plane getting there, you see their faces, it's not what they pictured and thought it's going to be like. No, there is just so much devastation. You ever been to a place where you start taking pictures and you go, these pictures just doesn't do it just.
Yeah.
And it's hard to conceptualize this when you look at these pictures and you go, yeah, that looks bad. Right? But I think it's one of those case scenarios where when you're there, where do you begin?
Here's the thing that I just went to the next level. Now, you're looking at that ship in the water. How do they get it out?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm thinking, if they don't have the infrastructure to do certain things, right, how are they going to pull the machinery to get down there, to do the rubble, to get the cars out of the homes, to get the boats out of the water?
Yeah,
a lot of stuff that we're thinking, oh, it's simple, just do this and this. No, they can't get a bulldozer down there. They can't get a lift down there. It's not as easy as we think it is.
No, power grids, power lines, simple utilities, right? when you think of the storm surge that hits.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, when everybody flushes the toilet, it all goes underground.
Yeah.
When storm surge hits,
Yeah.
right, water levels rise. Guess what? Underground comes above ground.
Yeah, I got you.
So, you know, when you think of, and when you saw that picture of the boat,
Yeah, I got you.
what people goes, oh, well, that's too sad. That was a nice yacht that's sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, what about the oil and the chemicals that come out of that into the water?
Right.
Right? And kill the fish and the wildlife around it.
Right.
You got to think of the ecosystem.
Yeah,
impact. It's the
a whole
butterfly effect.
It's a whole thing. I totally get where you're going with that, and it's not something. Wow. But listen, my friend, thank you so much for coming
having us.
in. But listen, you're on CMJ Live, and the last thing we do on CMJ Live is called the shout out. So this is your opportunity to shout out all your family and friends and everybody you want to shout out. It's like, you know, the Junior Awards. So this is your opportunity.
Yeah, no, look, I would love to thank everybody who's been involved in this, and you know, there's specific people that came together on the board of the CMPPA that really pulled it together at the last minute. You leveraged their connections and the resources and their personal finances to make this happen. A lot of people on the board and our members, right, really came together and volunteered their time and their energy to pull together. I'd like to thank our sponsors. You know, we have Duca. They're a fantastic sponsor of our community. They're a credit union bank, locally owned. We like to thank Franklin Templeton Investments. We like to thank KLM Airlines. I mean, they donated one of the door prize, which was airfare from Toronto to Amsterdam.
Okay.
Right, so your odds are really good at winning that.
Yeah.
Franklin donated tickets to Toronto Raptors game. We had the Marché donated their time. So, you know, even for us to put on this event, to have people there.
It had to be a lot of people come together real quick.
Yeah, well, we had people donate the space. We had people donate the beverages and the food so we can bring people together to do this.
Right.
And then raise money internally. So I like to thank all those people there. And everybody who donates, I'd like to thank you.
Okay.
Because this is not possible without your help.
All right, so one more time, we're going to put it on the feed link. I'm going to put it on Instagram, Facebook. I'm going to put the website on there. And like I said, donate. I'm doing it right after the show. I want you to donate it and then send me a link, send me a tweet, send me an Instagram post on Facebook that you have done it. Today, skip the coffee. Donate to a family. Feel good about yourself today. All right? Thank you so much for watching. You're watching CMJ Live. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow when my special guest is Vivian Scully. We're going to be talking from Jam Pro, talking about what you can do in investments in the islands. We're having it the island theme in Jamaica. We'll be right back. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.